How you do? Welcome back to Entertainment Roundup. I'm J77. This is a part 2 of my Coppa standalone video. I was holding back because one, it is the holiday year and I wanted to focus all my attention on my family, loved ones, and there was also a lot of other issues that I needed to attend to. So I decided to make the mid-season finale part 1, and this here the official part 2. So I'm gonna continue on with the Coppa situation, but I'm gonna do it as my own personal feelings as to my own thing with what YouTube is doing, the overall feel of those who do kids-friendly content, not family-friendly, kids-friendly, and there's a very big difference here, and the law in general and how the law it's pretty much a flawed law, and I'll get to that in a minute. Now, we're at January. This is the start of a new year, and pretty soon the Coppa law will start taking effect on YouTube more so than ever before. And that is something that's a good thing and a bad thing depending on how you view it. Let's get one thing clear about something here that I think a lot of people need to understand about Coppa. Coppa has been around for years. It is not a new law. It's not something that just popped out of nowhere. It has been around for years, and the rules are very specific to target those who sells children's personal information to companies, which can be very much posed a dangerous threat, even predatory in many ways, which it is. Let's be honest. When you sell your information, especially with Google and everything that Google does, they make their money off the information you give them, and then hence they also pretty much give the information to the bidders, which give you these commercials or advertisements, whether it's for your emails or just on your videos. This is how they make money. Now, according to the lawsuit, which YouTube has been sued for, they have broken that law by basically saying, by basically giving out information without the consent of the parents. Now YouTube try to fight this, saying that they don't have no one in the platform that is above that is under the age of 13. This is something of a rule. You can't be under the age of 13 and have a YouTube channel. But as we all know, and those who have been looking at YouTube videos for a while, from all categories, there is always that loophole. And one of the loopholes is that you can see these kids who clearly are not above the age of 13, as long as the parents are there, which means it's more of their parents' YouTube channel, but the children are using it under their supervision. Now, I don't have a problem with that. For as long as there's, like, for instance, if my daughter wants to do a video and wants to talk about the stuff that she wants to talk about, I have no problem with that, because one, I'm going to be monitoring it, I'm going to be supervising it, and a good chunk of children creators, those especially those who have kids on their platform, are being supervised. A good chunk of them, not all of them, a good chunk of them. You see the parents there. You see them interacting. You even see them recording their activities. So it's not like they're just doing it all hunky-dory by themselves. There is parent supervision, and it is the parents' channel more so than the kids' channel. Keep in mind, kids are not up the age. When they do get the age, that probably will start to you start to see that change happening. But most of the time, these channels are done with the supervision and pretty much the info of the parents. The issue is not really much with that. Is the issue with the advertisements and the information that is given. And the real big problem is, have YouTube misinformed the law? Have they misinformed the people who are using these platforms? The answer was yes, because like I said, we just showed you one of the biggest loopholes. Another thing is, you also have grown-ups, parents who cater, their main channel is to cater towards that children audiences, and this is where it becomes a very more slippery slope, because again, a lot of them are just doing it for children entertainment, but there's also others. It's very clear of their true intentions, and the true intentions is they are basically selling a product, and this is where the problem becomes a very big deal. Now, YouTube did settle out of court, as we all know. They have settled, and part of the agreement is that they have put new guidelines where they're putting the responsibility to the content creators to determine whether their channel is kids friendly or not kids friendly. This is something that has been instituted way before the new year hits. They've been doing it. I've seen it with my channel, which I basically have to make it so say, hey, look, this is not kids friendly. Even though I don't do the raunchy stuff, my audience is not children. It never has been children. Yes, my daughter is on there, but 99% of the time it's going to be with older audiences. The problem that many people seem to have is the way YouTube seems to be, and there's no question about it, being punishing the younger, the channels that caters to that young audience. And when I say punish, I'm saying it loosely. They're basically just destroying any hopes that they're making revenue on their platform, and that's largely because, let's keep it real, they're trying to protect themselves. They're not trying to protect the children who uses the platform, or those content creators who caters toward the children, who audiences of that in the platform. They're really caring for themselves. They're really doing this just to cover their own hide, rather than the content creators. And many people pointed out over the past few months, and many people, including those lawmakers, are saying, hey, instead of them being responsible for their own actions, they find it put the blame on the content creators, and it's not right. And they're absolutely right. I have been watching a lot of channels over the past 2 months. I've been watching what they have to say. Some of them I consider legit arguments. Others, I think they're trying to, brush it off as it will not affect us. It will only affect those content creators. I hate to tell you this, it affects everybody. Any kind of new rule, it's going to affect everybody. And YouTube has a very poor history in terms of how they implement rules and change rules and everything else. I will say this to their credit, and I say this very respectfully, that at least they was able to make a video, which I did not realize until I actually looked it up myself, no sooner after I made the first video, that they did address some issues. And let me tell you something right now, it is probably one of the worst PR video I have ever seen, because it's so robotic. It had no emotion, and it basically said what I felt that YouTube was doing for years now. They are not doing this for the content creators. They're doing it for themselves, and they're basically hanging up a lot of content creators to dry. Now, a lot of people are panicking about the $40,000 a video. Listen, I don't think the government, in all honesty, is going to find a person who is pretty much making not even any money from the videos they are creating $40,000. That's just absolutely ridiculous. Why would they put them in such a bad hole? These people are not millionaires. They're not rolling in dough. They don't have a CBS company behind them. They're just people who love what they do in terms of content creation. They're hoping to make a little money on the side or make it a career. For them to do that, come in and actually destroy them like that, is utterly ridiculous. But nevertheless, it's out there. It's there. And that's what really got a lot of people ticked off. What ticks me off about the whole thing is really the fact is that YouTube has really shifted the burden of responsibility towards those who had no power to begin with. Let's keep it real. This is all YouTube's doing. They have handled the situation poorly. They have handled how these videos are being distributed poorly, and they lied about it. They know that there are a certain group of people watching these videos. Yes, it's true. You cannot be under the age of 13 to have a video channel, but that doesn't stop parents from making video channels for their kids. It doesn't stop them from actually accessing the interwebs and making videos. It doesn't also stop a young viewer like my daughter who likes YouTube to tune in and watch YouTube, because she don't have to be a subscriber or have a YouTube channel to watch YouTube. She can just watch it as pretty much as a guest. So the idea that there was this tight loophole that they thought they had was just an illusion. And they messed it up. And instead of taking responsibility and say, okay, we're going to do what we can to make sure that doesn't happen, they just said, okay, you YouTubers need to do this because we're not going to do this anymore. You guys have to hold the responsibility, and if you guys get in trouble, tough luck, that's you. They basically use lawyer terms. They say they can't give us information. When anybody says they can't give information, that should tell you everything about what is going on. They are covering their own self more so than they're actually helping the people, the very people who have made their platform what it is today. Another thing that really bothers me about this whole Coppa thing is that it really put YouTube in a very bad spot right now. It really does. Because here's the thing, they've been catering so much towards the elite establishment. And I'm not talking about those who are higher up in the YouTube video chain. I'm talking about those who don't really care about YouTube to begin with. That they have been trying to showcase this so-called advertisement-friendly nonsense. Basically, you know, weeding out most people who don't fit what they feel criteria, but at the same time, they don't even follow it themselves, especially with some of the videos and some of the movies that they themselves sponsor. Yet they want the other people to follow into a system that is basically, one, hypocritical, and two, old-fashioned. They really have put themselves in a corner. Now a good chunk of what they consider advertisement friendly, they can't really make any money off it. And if they are, they're pretty much going to be picking maybe very little because they can't put advertisements there. Keep that in mind. That's why you heard the news, oh, they're going to take away stories, they're going to take away, you know, comments. I don't know why comments should be a big deal. You can't do a thumbs up, thumbs down, you can't share the video. All of this is because, number one, they can't make money off the video. Not as much as they used to. And they're pretty much punishing those who make these contents. If they say, hey, this is a kids-friendly content, kids-friendly video, guess what? You're gonna be punished for it. We're gonna take everything that you normally would have had in terms of helping your video grow. We're gonna take that away from you. And I think that's wrong. I think it's like, wow, really? You guys made this problem. You guys choose to go in a certain direction, and now when that direction is pretty much null and void, here we go again. You guys are going to punish these people who basically done what you wanted them to do. Make advertisement-friendly content. Advertisement-friendly video. And that's how I see it. Now, on the upswing, I'm going to be very specifically here, they have been working on getting rid of that demonetization thing that's been said. Haven't been much about it, but they said they are trying to work on that. But what good is it anyhow? I don't know what YouTube is anymore. If you're not a 10,000 subscriber or $1 million subscriber person, and if you don't have people subscribers watching your content, the chances are they're not going to push it. It'll be way down the algorithm. I'm not a part of that elite group. And even if you are part of the elite group, you're not safe anyway. And that's the whole thing I get with that. Coppa is a very interesting situation. It really is. Because it's really going to force them to make changes. And not everything about those changes is going to be good. So this is how it is. It's as simple as that. My own initial feeling is that I think YouTube, especially in my opinion, since they're doing this transaction, I hope at January, as we speak right now in 2020, it is the 6th of January. Maybe this video may be coming out 1 or 2 days prior to that. But in the 6th of January, I hope within the 2 months they announce all this stuff, that they actually have someone evaluating and monitoring and actually asking questions what can and cannot be put on what is deemed to be family-friendly content or kids-friendly videos versus non-kid-friendly videos. But most importantly, if the person, this is something that's very important, and I still have not got a respectable response to this. If the parents who is making these videos, or if the parents who know their kids is watching the video gave permission to say yes, you can the information, does that still apply? Does it still apply? Does Coppa still apply? Because even sign it says here that you have to ask parents permission if the person is the kid under 13. If that's the case, if they gave permission, would that still apply? Or is there something else I'm not reading in the law? And that's something that's always been confusing here. Another thing is that why just have just two categories? Why can you have something like pretty much that has like an independent rating system? I think it would have been better than that. All right, if your thing is rated kids friendly, put it there. If it's like family friendly, put it there. Because family friendly is much different than kids friendly. Let's keep that real. There is a big difference. There are some things that may not be appropriate for young children, but it's not vulgar enough where children cannot watch. Word versus something that is more kid friendly. So I think there's a lot they can do and improve, and I hope YouTube will improve, because here's the thing. People getting a little annoyed, and people getting sick and tired of all these changes, all the stuff that YouTube wants to do. I understand YouTube is trying to cover themselves. I'm not mad about that. All right, they have to do it. They have to follow guidelines. God knows they don't want, I don't care what anybody says, they don't want to lose another 78 to 100 million dollars. Do you guys, you may think it's a drop of a bucket, but to them, that's a whole lot of cash that that they don't longer have in that capital, and that is very important. Capital is important. If the capital goes a negative, you got no business. And the last thing we need to see is YouTube running in the red. Now, with that being said, I do have a question. I do have a very important question, and that is, who is actually monitoring Coppa law in the government side? Who's actually is going to be monitoring the videos that I make, or thousands upon thousands of YouTube make? How is that enforceable to other countries? I can't see a United States law being forced upon a citizen that is Canadian or the UK or anywhere else for that matter. It is just not practical. It's no way they can actually do that. I just can't see it. They can say regardless of what regions you want, but the bottom line is the United States can't tell Canadian government what to do, no more than the Canadian guys can tell the United States what to do. Now, unless this is a universal law where all parties agree, where you have the United States, Canada, the UK, Australia, Japan, all these countries that are pretty much have access to YouTube, all have made this law implement, then I don't see this law to be practical. It has to be universal. Another thing that I want to be, that it's very concerning about me, is the government itself, because we all know that they are sometimes behind the times. All right, what was deemed something in 1995 isn't the same. If you look at the internet in 1995, it's still in its beginning phase. It has evolved, and it's continuing to evolve. And the question is, those who are monitoring or supposedly monitoring these videos or the information that is being let out there, are they with the times? And that's the whole thing. To me, the Congress is way behind the 8 ball when it comes to certain things. And especially with the internet. The internet, they have not yet grasped how the internet works. And you can tell by some of the laws they put out there that doesn't really that is really work against those who are small businesses who work who need the internet as their bread and butter, to even certain websites. That was one of the reasons why Coppa was a very big deal. Not to say this has any of the dramatic impact, but it can, because there's Coppa. The government can say, well, we need something else more stronger, more impactful. And who knows how that's going to affect the internet. Do I think Coppa is going to have a lasting impact? Honestly, it really all depends. It really depends on who is being the watchdog and how much it's going to affect the YouTubers. If there is a mass genesis where they're cracking down on every YouTuber that makes family-friendly contact and finding them thousands upon thousands, yeah, it's going to have a negative impact. And as much as YouTube trying to wash their hand clean the situation, it's going to affect them too. Because here's the thing: if they think that people don't have nowhere to go, trust me, they be dead wrong. All right, they will be dead wrong on that. They don't need to get nowhere to go before your reputation is ruined. It's already on shaky grounds for a lot of reasons. They need to understand, and they need to understand right away that they need to get their act together when it comes to their policies. They keep changing their policies too much, and it's become a point where people are just tired of it. They're very, very tired of it. Here, I can understand they have to make the move. They have to make the change because, again, they are not going to keep getting fined. This is the agreement they have to do. Fine, but I also feel they need, instead of having knee-jerk reaction, they should actually really do a good assessment on how they can do to actually make sure they don't hurt their producers, yet at the same time protect themselves from the laws that will be coming down to it. Because again, they created this problem. It wasn't the content creators. It wasn't the video makers. They did exactly what they were supposed to do. That's their job. That's what you asked them to do, especially when you wanted, what can I say again, advertisement-friendly videos. They gave it to you. You can't blame that on them. And to me, I feel that they putting a lot of blame on them. And to me, that's not right. All right. You want to protect yourself, but you also want to protect the ones who have been doing everything by the book since they came to this platform. And I think that's the whole thing I'm very, very concerned about. And with that, I have to give my feedback towards those who do create kids-friendly content, because I think it's very important that I share this feedback. It's not with everybody. It doesn't apply with everybody, but it applies to those who are disguised as kids videos. You know who I'm talking about. First off, let me say this to those FCTV, as well as other Let's Players who my daughter watched, and I actually watched with her, and we actually laughed together. I want to personally say thank you for making kids-friendly content that I feel comfortable and safe for my kid to watch. I think it's cool that my child can watch something that is not have any swear words in it, that I feel that she's not going to get any bad influence from it, and I feel that that's actually something that I'm very, very pleased with. You guys do a great job, especially FCTV. You guys you're a family of talent. I can tell you right now. That's my shout out to you guys. I liked some of your music videos that you guys have made, and I hope you guys keep doing what you're doing, despite the fact of what's been going on with the platform. With that being said, there are some videos that are out there that I feel that are nothing more than marketing tools, and this is one of the main reasons why we have Coppa today, because of what we're seeing. All right. I don't have a problem with those who are selling merchandise based on their channel. They're not flaunting it. That's fine. It's still about the content that they're creating. There are some that's just plain and simple, or they are just to push a product. Like I said, there's no coincidence why my little girl loves LOL dolls. There is lots of channels that are dedicated to LOLs, and I can easily tell just from that's the main reason. This is another thing that I had a big problem with YouTube, and I think I'm not the only one who feels this way. And then to respect the credit, they actually have cut down on that, especially with the complaints happen. I have a problem with YouTube commercials. I've had it run on my phone. That's fine. They gotta get paid. They gotta keep the lights on. Not a problem. I don't even have a problem with the fact they went for 2 commercials. Not a problem with that. My problem is when I see the following. One, a propaganda video that is 7 minutes long disguised as a commercial. Prager University have done that, and I was not very happy about that. Not that the fact that they have their own political agenda. That's fine. You want to have a political channel, you want to have a video for YouTube, that's fine. But I should not see a 6 to 7 minute long video as a commercial. And this is not just the only one. You have LOL surprises that I know for a fact that are videos that are made as a 12 to 15 minute video. That's fine. But why the hell is it as a commercial? 14 minutes. This is the problem I have with the whole thing. And there's another thing I have a problem with is these open box videos. They're just there to push a product. It's not just even the LOLs. There's a list of Yu-Gi-Oh! And things like that. I do have an issue with that, especially for young minds. When you look at these commercials, the more they see these things unboxing and then they show these toys, guess what it does? It actually influences the child. I want to go there. I want that toy. Can you give that toy? You're basically becoming a glorified commercial. And that I do have a beef with. And I do have a problem with. And look, I know what some of those video makers says, we're not getting paid by the company. They send it for free. Of course they're going to send it for free. That's free advertisement for them. They're not losing anything for them. For them, that's actually helping them. It's the reason why a lot of these LLs have made their money on these YouTube channels. They make big businesses. Now again, I have no problem with them making money. I have a problem with them constantly putting pressure on me in terms of what they're doing in the videos. There's a reason why a lot of people don't like children's films. One of the main reasons is they're not really films. They're just a big 1 hour, 20-minute commercial for any product that is actually being placed in that film. Smurfs, The Wiz, I can go on and on and on. And Mac and Me, it becomes annoying because you already knew it's not about the movie, it's about the product. Anything else is secondary. Same thing with some of these videos, and I think that's the thing I have a problem with. And to me, look, I'm not telling what you should do with your videos. I'm just saying be mindful, all right, because you are influencing young minds when it comes to that. And guess what? Who also takes notice? The government. There was a reason why there was limitations in terms of what certain advertisers can do on TV shows, particularly kids' TV shows. They was aware that some of those TV shows were nothing more than a half-an-hour commercial. Transformers gotten famous for two things. They had a good show, but they also had products that children want. No less than 3 weeks, there was every kid in my school, my class, that at least had one Transformer toy. An Optimus Prime, Ironhide, Starscream, Swipe, Megatron, which was the hardest, which was actually banned from school, by the way, because of what his Transformer mode was. And that's basically what those shows were. They were glorified commercials. That's what they were. I mean, they're great. To me, nostalgic reasons, I love the show. But one cannot deny, as an adult now, what they really were. And that's what the FCT made some guidelines. Some stupid guidelines, because you can tell how ridiculous something like that, but it was a necessary one, because number one, they didn't want them to just throw these stuff out there like that. They put rules and regulations. And they also made it very clear that some of these toys cannot be sold, at least back then, I don't know if it still stands now, that they can't sell those toys on the very show they're actually showing on that time slot. It was a lot of restrictions, and it was necessary. You may disagree. I'd like to hear what you have to say about it, but that was necessary. So that's my whole point about this whole thing. It's not that I do that I have no problem with them doing the video for children, but when it comes to that kind of content, when all you're doing is showing these toys and everything else, that's the problem. That's an issue. There are some who are clever with it. I'll give them that. Especially from that, this is the All-Stars. They have a story. They will tell it. I don't have too much of beef with that. My beef is with okay, you got the LOL doll unboxing. You know what you're doing. You're basically trying to influence. See, kids, you need to have this product. This is why you need to have this product. It's cool. LOL dolls ain't cheap. The most expensive doll I've seen was a dollhouse set. They wanted $200 in Target. This is Target, for Pete's sakes. Some of them supposed to be a cheap alternative to the Macy's and JCPenney's of the world. They wanted almost $200 and change for that. And that was the cheapest thing I've seen. I saw the most expensive thing. I couldn't believe it. Closing in almost $300. All it is pieces of plastic. And yet they're charging almost $300. They also make it exclusive special collector's items. They try to, which they don't say. But it's a special collector's item, because if you only can get it in one particular spot, it's a collector's item. You can only get it at Amazon. You can only get it here. You can only get it there. That's a collector's item. You're putting a lot of pressure on parents to get these stuff. Parents don't appreciate that. And guess who else don't appreciate that? The government. Now there is I gotta make $1, but also forcing that dollar as well. But you may disagree. I like to hear your opinion. I like to hear what you got to say. I like to hear what you guys for out there. But in the meantime, I want to thank you guys for joining me for this. I want to get this out the way real quick to announce my return back. Everything back into normal schedule as usual. I will be back with an actual video of Entertainment Roundup, the weekend edition. And the pretty much midweek regular. This is going to be the since I'm actually doing this on a Sunday. This is actually going to be the wrap-up edition. Even though this is pretty much the show that I wanted to do for the longest. So I'm glad I actually got that done. And I wanted to actually talk about that and get you guys' honest opinion about it if you guys comment on below. Again, I have seen it. When I went to check on my YouTube page, the one thing I knew that was going to get hit was the one that my daughter did with the LOLs. They said kid friendly. I literally they took that off and basically put everything not kids friendly. And it's not. My videos are not. A lot of people have even gone further and actually put a disclaimer on their video before watching. Honestly, I don't know how that's going to work. I honestly don't. I don't know if even the people power that be, if they stumble upon my video, looks at that. Keep in mind, I wrote down this is for copyright use only. Didn't stop them from trying to hit me for copyright claims. It's a ridiculous system, and honestly, at this point, YouTube have not done anything to fix it. It's still a very flawed system, and I hope with the new thing they're trying to do will end that system, because it definitely needs to end. But I will be keeping an eye on it. I will be seeing what's going to happen. It is a serious situation, especially those who does that content. I don't know how it's going to affect them. For what I understand, those who have already established a strong fan base, they probably won't get hit as badly as those who are trying to start out. And that's a sad thing. It basically stompered any hopes for anyone who make children content like what FCTV done or Sis versus Bro do. It probably must stop with any hopes that them competing in this already intense business that is YouTube. But this has been my biggest issue about this. They want you guys to treat it as a business, but they are not willing to back you up when the push comes to shove. And that's why I feel that eventually, if you have enough capital to do it, to move away from the system as much as possible. And that's just how I see it. But you may disagree. I'd like to hear what you have to say. Until then, it's J77 saying take care, be safe, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.